All right. Let's see if we can do this intro in one take. Ready? Ready, chat? All right. Hi, I'm Cinemar. I'm a speedrunner of Valkyrie Drive BHIKKHUNI, and I am submitting this run for your consideration. Valkyrie Drive is a video game. It's like a hack and slash beat 'em up game that is gated by battles and lots of boss fights. You play mostly as a pair of sisters, but there are also 6 other girls that you can play as, and we will be playing as throughout the run. The story is pretty wild. If you're familiar with the anime Valkyrie Drive, this video game tangentially ties into it towards the end, but it's mostly a self-contained story about girls who love girls and want to be friends in the best way possible. The run is approximately 2.5 hours. I will probably put the time closer to 3 hours, because there's a bunch of stuff in this run that can go absolutely wrong. I will have backup saves in case anything goes terribly wrong. I have a 100% file in case like we actually run way behind. I don't suspect that will happen, but you know there are ways to show off the game outside of just doing the speed run. We will mostly be doing we'll be going for order percent, which is the best, like the good ending of this game. Which means you need to get double S on certain levels, which I will be pointing out as we go through them. As a hack and slash, there are plenty of times for donations. I can easily be interrupted all the time if donations come in and stuff like that. To fill the airtime, I will mostly be talking about the story of Valkyrie Drive as we go through it, as we're going to be skipping all of the cutscenes and things like that. So I will be doing short summaries, so that'll fill the air in this 2.5 hour run. And I also have some fun facts about the 6 different girls in the game that we can get to. The game is meant for mature audiences. It has, lots of girls loving girls in the best way possible. It's if you know what Valkyrie Drive is, it's more Valkyrie Drive. Cool. So let's get into it. Boop. Okay. Cool. So, start new game. So, timer starts when we go into story mode, but we're going to immediately be resetting the level. So, 3, 2, 1, go. So, there's some story happening here. Basically, 2 sisters, Rinka and Ronka, shown here in a moment. Right there. Rinka is the one in the blue, Ronka is the one in the red. They're twins, and they show up on this island called BHIKKHUNI because they are infected with the VR virus. In the world of Valkyrie Drive, basically, the women can be infected with a virus called the V virus, and it basically turns them into one of 2 things. You're either a liberator or an X-Star. A liberator is someone who can, when an X-Star becomes heated, I guess would be the nice way to put it. Basically, when an X-Star gets really horny, they turn into a weapon. So as you can see, Ronka has a blade in her hand right now. That blade is actually her sister. She basically turns her sister into a weapon. But that's the V virus, and obviously X-Stars become the weapon that the Liberator uses. What's special about Rinka and Ronka is that they have a version of the virus called the VR virus, and the VR virus just basically means that that they can act as Liberators or X-Stars, depending on whatever. So they can do either thing. I think my game volume is a little quiet. That's what makes them special. So they're brought to BHIKKHUNI because they're infected with this virus, and they are looking for a cure. So yeah, so that's kind of the preamble here. But when the girls arrive on the island, Ronka left their like school IDs on the boat, and the boat left. It basically dropped them off and then left. And there's this giant magic shield that surrounds the island, so the boat basically is gone forever. So nobody on the island knows who these two women are, and basically they're getting attacked because all these fighters all these people that we're hitting, they're robots, and they're programmed to basically stop anyone from coming onto the island who doesn't have an invitation. And Ronka, in her infinite wisdom, left our invitation on the boat. So yeah, we are having to battle our way onto the island, which we were invited to go through a curative program, or so we are told. Yeah, right here it's just a bunch of tutorial stuff. This game is infamous for having tutorials all the way up to the 22-minute mark. So you're going to be seeing a lot of these. And they're pretty finicky. This game likes to drop inputs a lot. So yeah, sometimes you're just gonna see the combos just not work, even though I do them. Here's kind of showing off some of the movement tech in this game. It's called, like, I call it dashing, but like it's called phantom dashing. Everything in this game has the word phantom in front of it for some reason. Like all the special moves and stuff. I don't understand, but yeah. So we collect lingerie in this game because that's the kind of game you're playing when you get into Valkyrie Drive. So as you play through the game, your rewards for collecting secrets or unlocking characters or levels will be lingerie for individual characters or to be bought from the store. Because there's a store in the game that. Back when this game was on the PSP, had microtransactions, but thankfully when they ported it to Steam, they got rid of that part, and now you can just buy everything for in-game currency, which is nice. So yeah, there's a whole there's a lot of aspects to this game that we're not going to be diving into during the speed run. There's a whole like dress up game where you can like the accessories in this game are pretty wild as far as like stuff to do and like ways you can dress up your character. My favorite character is Menpaku Maru. We'll get to her in a minute. But again, it's just more tutorials right now. So again, this is all just tutorial stuff. So like, this is teaching us basically. So all these fighter girls are invincible right now. The game really wants us to build up drive. So as you can see, that pink bar under my health up in the top left is filling up. So once that gets to 1 bar, we're gonna go into drive. So this is I'm gonna let this cutscene play out, but basically it's We'll be skipping these for going forward, but this is, again, what happens when basically you go into drive. So basically, Ronka just turned her sister into these giant fist weapons. And yeah, so that's what going into drive means. So we're going to be doing that basically as much as we can, because it increases your damage like 100 times. And there are levels to drive, and the more you level up your characters, the more levels of drive you get, and the more special attacks you get, and things like that. So we'll be diving into all that later. But again, this is just more tutorials and stuff. And again, there's not much happening in the story right now. It's just, these two are fighting their way onto the island to see if they can find someone who can help them. But so far, all they're running into is a bunch of robots who all seem to want to fight them. Which, you know, these girls are they're strong. Also, I will say that the VR virus basically turns you superhuman somewhat. Like, it's not directly said anywhere, I don't think, either in the anime or the mangas or this game, but like, you basically become like a superhero if you become infected with this virus. You know, you become stronger, more agile, faster, more durable, all that stuff. So what happens here is we run into the first human people, and they immediately want to attack us. This is Mana. Mana is, well, she's a character. The alternate title I have for this game is Mana Did Everything Wrong. And we'll get to her whole thing, here in a minute. So yeah, we're gonna get more stuff. So yeah, you're gonna see lots of underwear in this game. So, you know. So this is Mana. We just Mana Inigawa. We just met her. But basically, wait, let me pull up my notes because there we go. So, Mana is also here, but she's not here for the cure like the sisters are. She kind of just wants to research the V virus, just in general. Like, she wants to be a little bit of a scientist. And you know, like, she got infected with it, so she's like, oh, this is great. I can go to this island, I can research it, and like, you know, maybe I can help come up with the cure. So she's here under slightly different circumstances than the sisters. The sisters just kind of want to be rid of the virus, and you know, go back to their lives, go back to their homes, go back to their families. But yeah, Mana doesn't really want that, and it gets progressively worse and worse. But yeah, so every character has a different infinite, and their infinites change depending on what their level is. But yeah, so basically you want to never allow the enemy to move or do anything. You always want to try and keep them in lockdown because, boy, how do the enemies in this game love to run away from you. That's Momo, the one on the picture, the one behind Mana. She was the one driving with Mana right there. We'll see her later, and we'll get her backstory too. But needless to say, Momo's the bit of the broody, silent type. She's cold, she's detached, you know, she's broody. This is Congo. Congo is one of the pillar gods. They're basically like the teachers of this place. So yeah, Congo basically says like, "Hey, I'm glad you girls finally made it. You're part of the 5th VR class, and you know, like I'm glad you're here. Let's fight." And the sisters are like, "Wait, what?" And Congo explains that basically how they research the VR virus is they have the women fight robots. And they basically take research notes. They, like, you know, they basically watch them fight, and then they take notes. And they're like, okay, cool, let's use these notes in research. Now, that doesn't sound suspicious at all, right? I wouldn't say there's nothing suspicious about that, right? Nothing suspicious at all. They're not making them, you know, do it just for fun. Or to make them into stronger weapons. No, definitely completely altruistic reasons. But yeah, the girls are officially in the 5th VR class, and they're forced to fight. Now we're fighting Momo, with Mana driving with her. We're obviously driving with our sister, still. Don't question it. Don't think too hard about what it means to drive with another person. Because, yeah, it gets weird. So, or don't think about the implications too hard. It's a fun game about girls who are friends. They're all roommates, chat. Don't worry about it. Okay, cool. So, basically, here, we learn that Mana is a straight-up, like, edgelord. And she thinks she's the best. She thinks she deserves the best everything. She blames all of her losses on the fact that, Momo can't keep up with her. Yeah, she's something. She's basically, you know, the high school prep girl of the group, and nothing is ever her fault. She's doing everything right. If only everyone listened to her, the world would be in perfect harmony, and she alone could come up with a cure for the VR virus without anyone's help. 100%. No questions asked. So that's the kind of person you learn that Mana is. And she progressively gets more unhinged as the game goes on. Right now we're seeing the smallest hints of her psychosis. But yeah, basically she hates the sisters. Because she says specifically of Ronka that she's into Gatmo. I didn't know what that means until I looked it up online. But yeah, apparently that's a thing. But yeah, so yeah, Mana's a real piece of work. So what we do is we go into drive. Basically, the game keeps playing when you're doing the drive animation, and there's an animation that plays when doors unlock in this game. But if you play one animation, you can't play both the game can't play both the animations simultaneously. So it just plays the drive animation instead. So you're gonna see me doing that a lot. I'm gonna because there's an animation that plays here when this door opens. But if I was going into drive right there, the animation wouldn't play and the door would just be open. So again, last time Momo and Mana fought the sisters, they lost because Momo was the liberator, and Mana was the X-Star. But the first time they fought the sisters, they won with Mana being the, you know, because that was basically the first fight of the game. Man, I'm getting, this is really bad. Okay, there we go. We finally caught her. Cool. But yeah, so this whole thing right here just kind of reinforces to Mana that she's the best. If she's the liberator, they can defeat the sisters, but when Momo's the liberator, they can't. So Mana reinforces that she is the best, and she's better than all the other girls she's met, and truly everyone should just pay attention to her and live in her spotlight. And yeah, so she goes up here and she starts meditating on how cool she is, and she comes up with a plan to kind of take over the whole island. Again, Mana's a real piece of work, guys. She's yeah, she's got a whole, you know that meme, I've got brain problems? Yeah, Mana is the epitome of that meme. I guess I've got brain problems. So we really want to hit mage girls. The girls with the big flowers. Because mage girls, when they shoot that big fireball at us, that one's going to hit us. It knocks us back and down, and it takes a long time to get up from that animation. It's really long, and we don't like it. Oh, welcome in, Huni. The shrimp enemies are the second worst enemy in the game. They have a weak spot on their back. Yo, welcome in, everyone. I'm doing a commentary run of Valkyrie Drive. So if you've ever thought about playing Valkyrie Drive, or you've ever wanted to play Valkyrie Drive, this is the place to be right now. But unfortunately, I have to focus on my commentary. But I will greet you as you all say hi. So again, we're fighting Mana. We're just gonna infinite her here. Welcome in, EJ. Or yeah, welcome in, eHope J. Cool. So Mana's dead or unconscious. And yeah, so basically, Mana loses. And she gets fucking pissed that she lost to the sisters. Because, yeah, EJ. That's what I thought it was. That's what I thought it was. But welcome in, everyone. Again. So, the sisters basically went... Or is that not it? Fuck, my bad. Again, I'm focusing... I have very bad dyslexia. That's another thing. It's a real problem for me, guys. I'm reading is not a strong suit for me. But yeah, so basically after. Oh, okay. But yeah, so basically after getting completely wrecked by the sisters, Mana is like, okay, I'm gonna Who is the strongest person on the island right now that they know of? Who's, like, in their class? And there is a girl who we've met in cutscenes, but we haven't actually played as yet, named Kotaru. And Kotaru is the strongest Valkyrie on the island, hands down. Undisputed GOAT of the island. But she's always somewhere else. Nobody really knows what Koharu does, but, like, she doesn't come to class. She kind of just does her own thing because she's just, like, the most powerful Valkyrie, and the school's like, listen, nobody fucks with Koharu because she's fucking strong. So, like, you know, they just let her do her own thing. She doesn't need to go to class because she's beyond the need to go to class. So Mana's like, okay, who's the next strongest person? And another character's like, oh, well, that would be Kongo. That would be your teacher. So Mana's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go fight my teacher. So yeah, this is Mana's 500 IQ play to just fight this giant robot monster with a sword 5 times bigger than she is. Again, Mana's psychosis is fun. So we really don't want this move because this move does damage based on frames, and we're playing at a very high frame rate right now. So technically that move can one-shot us if we get very unlucky. So what we want to do here with most of these bosses is we're going to knock their armor off, and then we're just going to hit these weak points. We really don't want to see this, again, we don't want to see this shield, because when she does it, she basically becomes immune to damage until the attack she's doing is over. Oh, wow, she's really trolling me. Also, you're gonna notice the hitboxes in this game are very strange. Yeah, hopefully, I was gonna say, hopefully we break that before before she gets up. Alright, we should only need this orb, and then this one up here. And that should be it. We should kill her before this orb breaks. But yeah, so, believe it or not, Mana and Momo actually do it. They actually defeat Kongo, their teacher. And, you know, again, Mana is proven right that she's one of the strongest Valkyries, blah, blah, blah. She's you know, she gets really in her own head. But having watched Mana and Momo defeat Kongo, our sister pair gets all fired up. Ronka gets fired up, and she's like, "Cool, I want to do that." Unfortunately, the game has us do a very hard tutorial here. So I'm gonna try and do this. Cool. Alright, that is a lot harder than it looks, doing that move. At least for me, I don't know. Basically, you have to dodge while you're being hit, almost on, like, the same frame that you're being hit. It's a very tight window. Yeah, so basically, the sisters get fired up, so now they want to do the thing that Mana just did. And it's weird that the Pillar God was like, "Oh yeah, cool. Give me 5 minutes, and I'll be back in full fighting form." That's that's what you call foreshadowing for later in this game. But yeah, basically, Kogo's like, "Sure, like I'll take on anyone. Like, just come at me." So then the sisters do it. And again, Mana sees the sisters, like, just totally wreck the teacher, and gets pissed because she's like, how are they improving so quickly? Like, everything I do, the sisters are merely one step behind me, and I'm supposed to be the best. So yeah, again, Mana is full on psycho mode. It only gets worse. But thanks to being the first one to defeat the Pillar God, the director of the island, kind of this hologram character that we've seen a couple times so far, is like, cool, you can be the head of your class. So Mana becomes the head of the class and the iota of power in which that grants her sends her off the deep end, and she goes crazy with it. So then Mana going absolutely full edgelord, finally finds Koharu, and is like, hey, like, I'm gonna catch up to you, and I'm gonna be your drive partner. Like, we are the two strongest people on the island, and, you know, once I become your drive partner, we'll be invincible. Basically, we'll be the two strongest Valkyries on the planet, and you and I will be able to basically cure the virus alone. Now Koharu is really smart, and she's like, yeah, I don't think that's how. Like, that's probably not gonna work. But she's like, fine, if you become a strong Valkyrie, I'll drive with you. But she's like, every other Valkyrie who I drive with passes out. Because, like, they just can't take it. I'm too... Again, using almost the parlance of this game, Koharu's too sexy. And all the girls who drive with her just get absolutely overwhelmed by how horny and sexy that Koharu is, and they can't take it, and they pass out. So Koharu has a real problem. That basically no one can drive with her. But she's also the strongest Valkyrie, so she doesn't really even need people to drive with her. She's just, like I said, being a Valkyrie basically makes you kind of like a superhero anyway. So, like, she's just a superhero without driving with anyone. But Mana's like, cool, I'm gonna become the best, and we're gonna drive together, and we're gonna figure this thing out. And Koharu's like, sure, whatever, okay. But yeah, and then Momo is like, hey, like, can you try driving with me one more time, and me as the Liberator? I want to kind of prove to you, Mana, that I'm not terrible. And so Mana's like, fine, I guess. All right, you can be the Liberator, but we're gonna fight the sisters, and if you lose to them, you're a pathetic nothing worm thing. And Momo's like, fine, I'll be the Liberator. We'll fight the sisters, and I'll do good. And she does. They win. It's. And then, you know, Mana's like, you know what? You're actually okay, Momo. Like, maybe I don't have to be crazy. Like, maybe I can actually tone down my psychoness, and, like, you know, you and me can drive together, and maybe we can be the strongest Valkyries. Maybe we don't even need Koharu, because she kind of blew me off. Mana and Mana and Momo are walking through the elite district of the island, which is basically, like, you know, the nice part of town. They're looking for apartments, because, you know, like, they need to live somewhere, and if they're going to become the two strongest Valkyries, they need to live together and train together and do all the things that two beautiful women do together. But as they're walking through the elite district, they meet these two people. This is Viola, who we're playing as, and Viola is currently driving with Manpaku Maru, my favorite character. We'll see Manpaku Maru a little later. But yeah, so they meet these two, and Viola's like, I'm the strongest Valkyrie on the island. She's like, Koharu might be technically stronger than me, but, like, Koharu doesn't actually do anything. Koharu just kind of, like, broods and, like, you know, exercises and trains. But Viola's like, I'm actually the strongest one. Also, what are you doing in the elite district? This is the district for really good fighters, and you two are crap. You know, obviously, Mana, being completely sane, definitely not a crazy person, is like, oh yeah? We belong here. We are the strongest people. We do belong in the elite district. And, you know, Viola's like, you don't, though. Get out. And Viola then basically bribes Manpaku Maru with food, which is an ongoing thing that we're going to see in this game. And they fight. They fight for the right to live in the elite district. So unfortunately, I missed the infinite there, but basically there's an infinite combo you can do in this game, where you basically just hold the enemy, like, in a corner like this. Not every character can do this. Some characters, it's a lot easier than others. But yeah, basically that's the fastest way to do any one-on-one fights in this game. Is just do the phantom dance up in the corner until they're KO'd. So we're going to be doing that a lot. So again, you see Manpaku Maru there. She's the best. I love her to pieces. Her whole thing is she loves food, and she loves eating food, and she'll do anything if you feed her. And bro, that's a vibe that I can get behind 100%. Yeah, so basically Viola tells Mana and Momo to both fuck off. But again, Momo was the liberator there. So Mana blames everything on her. Mana basically blames their loss on her, and she tells Momo to get lost, and that she knew Mana was weak this whole time, and absolutely just dunks on Momo. And so Momo's like, cool, I'm gonna, like, I will prove to you that I'm good. And that, you know, that was just a fluke, and that Viola's actually really strong. But again, Mana doesn't believe it. God damn it. So Mana doesn't believe it for a minute, so she's like, cool, I'll drive with Viola, you drive with Manpaku Maru, and we'll see which of us is the stronger liberator. And, you know, Momo's like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. If you haven't gotten it yet, Momo has a little bit of a crush on Mana, but just hasn't admitted it to herself yet. And Mana doesn't give a fuck and only wants to be the strongest. So, obviously Mana wins, thus reinforcing that everything is Momo's fault, and, you know, poor Momo. So here we meet Manpaku Maru for the first time, and we play as her for the first time, and homies, Manpaku Maru is the best. Yeah, so, where are we? 6. Yeah, so basically, yeah. Momo's like, hey, if I drive with you, Manpaku Maru, do you mind, like, just helping me become stronger? And Manpaku Maru's like, do you have food? And Momo's like, yeah, I'll spend all my points on food if you help me get stronger. And Manpaku Maru's like, you got yourself a deal. Because, like, Manpaku Maru isn't the strongest Valkyrie. Like, she's constantly, like, stated as being, like, a pretty middle-of-the-pack Valkyrie. But, if you give her a lot of food, she changes. Again, it's never directly stated in the game, but, like, it's hinted at that on a full stomach, Manpaku Maru might be the most dangerous, like, not the strongest, but perhaps the most dangerous Valkyrie on the planet. And we'll see why in just a minute. So, Manpaku Maru's drive is, these fucking weapons. Every other girl uses one sword. Manpaku Maru uses, these two giant cleavers. That get progressively bigger the more drive she builds up, which, they get pretty big. And, her level 1 attack, so this is her drive 2. So her level 1 attack, which we're about to do here, 100 to zeros every single fight in this game, even at level 1. So, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna let her fall, and I'm gonna do this, and she's dead. As you can see, the numbers up in the corner, just keep going up. And if the game didn't freeze there, they would continue to go up. It's broken. It's very good. It's unfortunate we don't use Manpaku Maru a lot in this run. But yeah, so basically Manpaku Maru drives with Koharu, and they fight the sisters, who, you know, Mana thinks are the second strongest pair on the planet. Or on the island, not on the planet. So, Momo, we learn here, Momo was like like, the reason she's kind of quiet and brooding, we learn in this cutscene, is she was, like, kind of basically a child soldier, without saying she was a child soldier. Basically, as soon as her parents figured out that, like, she had the VR virus, they, like, either sold her off to a military, or they fled the country that they were living in because there was a war there, and, like, they couldn't provide for her properly, or they didn't know how to provide for her, so they basically just left her there, in the middle of this war that she was forced to fight in, because, she can make people turn into weapons, or she can turn into a weapon herself. So Momo's, like, kind of got a really sad backstory, and when she first met Mana, she thought, like, oh, this, like, finally, someone who has the same problems that I do, that I can confide in about all this stuff. But Mana has been nothing but an absolute jerk to her throughout this whole game. Either using her or telling her she's not good enough, or the whole thing. Like there was a glimmer of hope back when Mana's like, oh, maybe we can go to the Elite District and get a place together, and like we'll work on becoming the best Valkyries, and like Momo had hope there. But now that basically Mana is driving with Viola, Mana's hurt. So basically, Mana's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna get Rinka, who she thinks is the stronger of the two sisters. She's like, cool. I'm gonna drive with her. I'm gonna drive with her, and that'll help me get over my mana problem. And it's right as she decides that oh no, there are scheduled matches happening. Basically, the director of the island is like, cool, I want all of the Valkyries to fight each other in like these scheduled battles. But you don't get to choose your partner. I get to choose your partner. It just so happens that Momo gets put up with Rinka, which is who she wanted, and they fight Ronka. Are you winning? We're doing a commentary run right now, Delamain. So it's not so much about winning as it is just about talking about the run, and just having a good old time. We're not trying to go fast here. We're just trying to talk about the things that are happening in the game. Obviously, if we PB, that's only a bonus, but we're not. That's not the point. We're not going for that. And so, obviously, the sisters get split up, which pisses Ronka off, and that's why Ronka thinks that she lost there, because she's mad. And obviously, Mana blames every loss on anyone but herself, so Mana blames the loss on Rinka as well. Because even though Viola wasn't in that fight at all, Viola's like, hey, I can't believe you lost to fucking Momo, of all people. I thought you were strong, Mana. And Mana's like, it's not my fault, it was Rinka. Like, keep driving with me, and Viola's like, ugh, fine, but, like, if you lose again, like, we're done. Like, I can't be around weak people, because it makes me weak. Because, Viola's got her own stuff going on in the background, and, she also wants to be the best. And here, Momo kind of opens up to the sisters and Menpaku Maru. She's like, hey, like, I was a child soldier. I kind of really don't want to be here. But like, I'm here, so I'm doing what I can. And, they're all completely understanding. Except Mana, who isn't there and doesn't seem to care about anything other than being the best, which, is definitely a vibe. So again, these are more of the scheduled matches. So now Rinka and Menpaku Maru are put together, and they're going to fight. Oh, I forget who. Oh no, bad commentary o'clock. I think they're fighting Mana. Yeah, I think we're fighting Mana. Yeah. Oh no, we're fighting. No, sorry. Yeah. Wait, who are we with? Okay, we're with Momo and we're fighting Menpaku Maru. Okay. Cool. Pretty fast fight. Cool. And you learn here that basically, spoilers, the fights were rigged from the start. Koharu in the background, who again we haven't met or played as yet, but she's been doing stuff in the background. She basically figured out that the director rigged all of the fights, and though all of the girls you know, had to fight each other. They all decide, like, hey, it was all rigged, and they all kind of apologize to each other and go and do what you do in that situation after you beat each other up and apologize. You go on a fun beach vacation. So the girls go to the beach and they have a great time. So in the scheduled fights, they basically all got rankings. Ronka got 11th place, which is pretty bad considering how small their class is. Rinka got 5th. Obviously Koharu, who we haven't played as, got 1st. Viola got 2nd. Manpaku Maru got 3rd. Mana got 4th. Yeah. Momo tied with Rinka for 5th, and Ronka storms off to figure out why she got so low. Because she doesn't feel like she should have. Mana basically then kind of goes off on her own, and, you know, being placed 4th does not feel good to her, because she, you know, again, she thinks she should be 1st in everything. But Mana also figures out that basically how Koharu got 1st is every single opponent that she had forfeited before their match. Which doesn't feel like it's a win. You know, like, technically it's a win, but, like, it's strange to Mana that Koharu seems to be this very powerful Valkyrie who doesn't ever seem to fight. He just kind of is. And that doesn't sit right with her. Cool. So let me find where I was in my notes. Right. So, here, Viola teams up with Mana to fight Momo and Manpaku for the honor of fighting the second Pillar God. So, all the girls, again, they're all constantly just looking to be the best. And after all of them have defeated Congo, the first kind of teacher that they had, they're like, okay, let's fight our next teacher. Like, who's the next strongest teacher? And the next strongest teacher, whose name is, I don't know. Go Zenze. I don't know how to pronounce any of these names. They're all in Japanese. I don't know Japanese. I don't pretend to know Japanese. But basically, they're fighting for the honor of fighting their next teacher. Obviously, Viola and Mana win, and they earn the right to fight the next boss. So, yeah, Momo is distraught that, again, she loses to Mana, which doesn't feel good to her, because, you know, like I said, she has a low-key crush on Mana, and she wants to drive with her, but, you know, Mana is Mana, so she makes everything harder than it has to be. So, again, Momo teams up with Rinka, who's, you know, sweet, and she's like, hey, can you help me defeat these two? And Rinka's like, yeah, sure, I can do that, probably. And again, Rinka and Momo soundly handle Mana and Viola. And, you know, it's kind of the reverse situation, where now Viola's just like, Mana, when I drive with you, like, as the X-Star, and you're the Liberator, you're trash. And again, Viola just, it's like, I can't believe we lost again, it's all your fault. Like, I'm gonna have to start looking for another partner if you don't shape up. But, Momo, you know, in defeating her after she defeated, you know, after she defeated the others, Momo basically gets the opportunity to fight the teacher. So that's what we're doing here. We're climbing to the top of the teacher's basically domain, and we're gonna do battle with them. And Momo's kind of doing this because she wants to prove to Mana that she's strong, so that Mana will drop driving with Viola and drive with her instead. And if you haven't figured out what driving is a euphemism for yet by now, you know, I hope you continue to I hope you continue that, because to me it's very funny. There are ways to skip getting that cutscene where it says get, but they're very hard, and I don't do them. It only saves like 2 seconds, and in a 2.5 hour run, it's not a lot of time. So again, we really want to target the mage girls the most out of all of these people, because mage girls they run away, and 2, they don't like to be they like to do that move where it knocks you back, and it really throws off your groove. So unfortunately, there's no like animation canceling in this game. So if I accidentally hit the X button too many times and like do a move that takes like a full second or two to do, it's not good, because I just sit there and attack nothing. So I do try and cancel my animations with a roll, or cancel my attack combos with a roll every now and then. Yeah. So this is, again, I don't know how you pronounce it. I say go Zaz. I don't know. I just say the Green Dragon boss. All the bosses are named or like themed after an animal. Kogo's the turtle. This is a dragon. The bosses we'll get to later are other creatures. And do that. So again, we're just trying to break the orbs here. Cool. Oh, did not want to do that move. Oh well. This is the one I wanted to do. Cool. There we go. That fight could have gone a little better. But it's fine. Cool. So yeah, Momo and Rinka defeat the second Pillar God, and they're like, cool. We're currently the strongest pair. Again, Koharu doesn't really count because, again, she's not paired with anyone. She's just technically the strongest Valkyrie. So Koharu basically wait. Lost my place in my notes. Yeah, so Momo shows up and she's apologetic at what happened with... Oh, right, sorry. What happened at the end of that is after they defeated the boss, Rinka basically passes out and has to get sent to the hospital. Now, this is unusual because, you know, they're like super soldiers. So for them to be exhausted, you know, it's some next level stuff must have happened in that battle. Momo blames herself. She's like, "Oh, I relied too much on your sister for strength. Like, I really might be as weak as everyone says I am. Like, that battle was mostly your sister doing all the heavy lifting as the X-Star." And she apologizes to Momo for that, because she's like, "Hey, like, I'm really sorry about Rinka." And Ronka then vows that nobody will drive with her sister but her ever again. And Rinka gets, put into the hospital. But, Viola shows up, I think. I don't have this part in my notes, but I'm pretty sure Viola shows up and tells Ronka, she's like, "Hey, like, your sister's really strong. And if you want to drive with her, you also have to become stronger. Because she won't, like... the same thing will happen if she drives with you than with Mana if you're weak. Or with Momo if you're weak." So, yeah. We're like, "Oh, yeah, of course." So, Ronka is all fired up, and she's like, "Cool, I'm gonna get this... By the time my sister gets out of the hospital, I'm gonna become as strong as she is. If not stronger." So this is one of the few times I'm not going to go into Drive 3. Even though I have it, you see it blinking up there in the top right of my screen. I'm not going to do it, because we're going to fight Mana and Viola at the end of this. Yeah. As it turns out, our level 1 attack is just really good at single target damage, and yeah, it two-shots her. So yeah, Kongo praises us for how strong that Ronka's become, but she says that Ronka still needs to get stronger. And yeah, suddenly... Koharu shows up to class for the first time, and she's looking for a drive partner. And Mana is like, "Oh, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. I'm the strongest Valkyrie in the class. I'm also the head student of our class. Like, you basically have to drive with me." Like, she doesn't say it in so many words, but she basically says, you have to drive with me. And Koharu's like, "Okay, fine, I guess, but, like, you better not suck. Because, like, if you suck, then, like, it's... Not only is it problematic for you, but, like, it's problematic for me. Because, like, I have a reputation as, like, this badass Valkyrie. And if you fuck it up, then, like, I'm not gonna like that very much." So, yeah, Koharu seems to begrudgingly drive with Mana, and Mana's over the moon, because she's like, "Cool, I finally get to drive with the strongest Valkyrie." Okay, so you also learn here that in secret, Koharu's whole thing is because she thinks there's something called the perfect drive out there. She doesn't know what that means, but, like, she's basically heard people around the island talking about it. And she's, like, curious. She's like, "Okay, cool. I'm trying to find someone who I can perform the perfect drive with." And she thinks, at first, she thought it was going to be Rinka, because she saw Rinka fight, and she's like, "Cool, Rinka is, the strongest, most creative of the class." So her initial idea was to come to class looking for Rinka to drive with her. But Rinka's in the hospital. So she's like, "Okay, I'll take the next best thing." And instead of taking Viola, who might have been the next best thing, Mana kind of interrupted her. And is like, "Oh, take me, take me, take me." So Koharu's like, "Fine, fine. I'm just looking to get information on this perfect drive thing." So Koharu and Mana win here, obviously. But at the end here, Koharu, like, rejects Mana. Mana's like, cool, let's move in together, let's do the whole thing, like, you know, let's become, like, you know, permanent drive partners. And Koharu rejects her, saying, like, it was really, like, a spur-of-the-moment decision. And that's when Viola fucking walks in, and she's like, you're driving with me from now on, Koharu. And Koharu's like, I mean, we'll try, but, like, you know, I don't think that's a great idea. And Mana basically begs her, to drive with her again. And Koharu's like, fine, I guess. And a fun fact is, in that cutscene I just skipped, Koharu and Ronka have a very lewd conversation about having relations with Rinka. Kind of accidentally. Like, Koharu is clearly not making the innuendos that Ronka thinks she is, but Ronka continues to be like, oh yeah, what about this? What about this? And Koharu's like, yeah, I could see that working. And yeah, it's very funny. I highly suggest that if you play through this game, to read through that cutscene specifically, because it's very good. But, you know, like, again, Koharu doesn't want to drive with Mana, because, you know, she basically promised Viola that Viola would be the next person she drived with. But, oh no, what's this? Right when all the pairings could be somewhat, like, you know, like, streamlined, more scheduled battles with random pairings, who could have ever guessed such a thing would happen? And it turns out, Koharu is put with Mana, kind of against her will. And, Ronka is put with Manpaku Maru. And, like, Ronka doesn't dislike Manpaku Maru, but, like, they're not, like, friends. So yeah, it's kind of Koharu and Mana kind of destroy them. It's kind of not a fair fight. But again, Koharu is like, that was 99% me and like 1% Mana in that fight. So like it kind of wasn't fair on purpose. And it was kind of not fair because Ronka needs to get stronger. So here, wait, let me check my notes. Yeah, right. So Viola is paired with Ronka, and Ronka takes it personally because yeah. Oh. This is really bad. I need to not read my notes and actually speedrun the game that I'm playing. Okay, cool. Got her. Oh, she jumped? Cool. So yeah, Viola is paired with Ronka and takes it personally when Ronka tells her that Koharu believed that Ronka could become the strongest one on the island. Because again, Viola thinks that low-key she could be the strongest one on the island. She just doesn't practice enough because, you know, she's too prissy for it. But yeah, the director, after that fight that Mana loses, because Mana was paired with Momo, the director secretly pulls Mana aside for a top-secret conversation. And I need to scroll down in my notes here. Cool. Again, Koharu again attends class looking for a partner, and Viola pretending to be interested again, but, like, not begging this time, more like, hey, like, I'm actually the strongest Valkyrie, like, all evidence points to it, just let me be the liberator, and I'll prove it to you. Because, like, the last two times that we've driven together, You've been the Liberator, and I've been the X-Star. So, like, let me be the Liberator, let me drive, and I'll prove to you how good I am. And Koharu, like, is like, fine, I guess, but, like, I don't see this going anywhere. But, you know, she gives Mana the benefit of the doubt. Because, like, Mana isn't... I mean, she's strong. So, like, you know, it's not all talk, but it's a lot of talk. But yeah, this, again, also, like, you know, this is... Mana is... It's special. Again, Mana did everything wrong is the low-key title for this game. Cool. And obviously, they're going to fight Viola, because Viola is the one who actually wants to drive with Kotaru, like, on the regular. Pretty good fight. So at this point, Mana's like, cool, I'm good, I have everything in order, Koharu's gonna be my drive partner forever, we're the two strongest Valkyries, everything's gonna be A-okay. To which Koharu basically replies, I don't want it, and just kind of walks off. Like, and Mana's just kind of left, like, awestruck. Like, what do you mean? We're the best. Can't you see that? And then, Viola's like, hey, Koharu, can we have a little heart-to-heart? Can we be drive partners? And Koharu's like, cool. Prove to me that you're strong, and I will drive with you. And Viola's like, great, I'll do it. Perfect. So yeah, Viola basically demands Koharu drive with her. Mana and Mapaku don't agree, and then the director pops up and is like, "Hey, how about you fight it out, and you'll see who gets to drive with Koharu." Viola obviously wins, knowing she'll be Koharu's partner, begs Koharu to team up with her and to fight the third Pillar God to prove. One, to prove that they work together in the opposite, as Koharu is the Liberator and Viola as the X-Star, but also just to, like, kind of cement their relationship of being the strongest pair on the island. Because, like, no one's defeated the third Pillar God yet. Basically, like, the third teacher. No one's been able to do that yet. So, like, if they can do it, then, like, it basically cements them as the strongest pair on the island. And Koharu's like, yeah, that sounds fine to me. Prove it, yeah. So that's what we're doing here. We're basically, these two are now fully enamored with each other and looking to sign the marriage contract by defeating a giant robot dog, which, you know, is what all lesbians do, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you know, when you go to get married, you fight a giant electric, tiger? I think it's a tiger. Cool. Whoosh. Through the gate. Cool. So, this is, our tiger boss. It's electric themed. So, this boss's hitboxes are absolutely buck wild. Way worse than any of the other bosses in this game. You can't hit this boss from the ground, and you can't hit the boss from above either. There needs to be, like, you need to be, like, basically right in the middle. But you also, it's really hovering in this game where you're at's really hard. And this boss likes to run. Cool. And again, we're pretty low level here. Koharu is probably the lowest level character we have, and I think Viola is the lowest drive we have. So, like, we have all this stuff, but we can't do anything with it. Like, we can't go into Drive 2, we can't use any ultimate abilities. Of course, she puts armor back on. And again, some of the bosses in this game can really troll you because they can basically put armor back on their orbs at any time. And they always target the orb that has the lowest HP, obviously, because that's the one that they want to guard against the most. Perfect. Alright, that was actually a really fast fight there. So there's a big fancy cutscene here where basically Koharu admits that she's had feelings for Viola for a long time, and the only reason that she hasn't ever driven with Viola in the past is basically because she didn't think that Viola, like, she doubted Viola's strength. But once the two win, Koharu requests, instead of, because, like, basically when you defeat a Pillar God, you can ask a question, or, like, get a gift from them. And, like, normally it's just, like, more points, or, like, the ability to challenge the next Pillar God. But Koharu's like, hey, can you take Viola and I on a ride on your back? And the Pillar God's like, are you sure that's what you want? And Viola's like, or Koharu's like, yeah, that's what I want. I think I'm gonna cement our relationship by taking my new girlfriend on a ride on our teacher's back across the island. So it's really cute and it's really fun, and it kind of cements the fact that the first, like, official relationship permanently is Koharu and Viola in the game. Everyone else is just kind of left open for now. I mean, obviously Ronka wants to only drive with her sister. She kind of made that declaration when her sister went into the hospital. But you know, she hasn't had a chance to affirm it yet. And also at the end of the last cutscene that we skipped, we see Mana going into a full-on kind of depression psychosis spiral. As now, not only is the top spot claimed in Koharu, but also Viola is teamed up with Koharu, so she's also kind of off the Valkyrie market, which basically leaves Mana not many options on figuring out who's the strongest Valkyrie to drive with and who can push her to become the best Valkyrie that she knows that she is. So in an act of somewhat, like, kind of desperation, Mana's like, hey, Menpakumaru, you seem really strong on a full stomach. How about you and I be drive partners for a little while? And Menpakumaru's just like, will you feed me? And Koharu's like, yeah, whatever. Can we just, like, you know, can we just be drive partners? And Menpakumaru's like, sure, whatever. I don't care. As long as I'm getting fed. That's all I care about. And so, like, Koharu, or, Mana's like, this doesn't feel good, but, like, It's fine. As long as I can be the strongest, whatever gets me there. So, you know, to prove that she's the strongest pair, she goes up against Ronka and Momo. Because she's like, cool, you guys are kind of strong. If we can beat you, then maybe I have a shot at going at Koharu and Viola. And she doesn't. She fucking... We two-shot her. And, you know, Mana does not take this well. Because, again, she blames Manpaku Maru, who Manpaku Maru did nothing wrong. She just wanted food. And it's right about now that Rinka shows up. Rinka is out of the hospital and ready to continue with the VR program. But her sister's like, hey, like you really shouldn't be doing this. You just got out of the hospital. Like you're still kind of weak. Like, and her sister's like, oh no, I'm not weak. I'm fine. And Ronka's like, all right, then prove it to me. Prove you're strong to me by fighting me. And Rinka's like, okay, sure, I can do that. So Rinka soundly handles her sister, thus proving that she is ready to go back into class. It helped that she teamed up with Koharu for that fight, but they kind of just gloss over that. They don't mention it. Like they're like, yeah, whatever. So, great. So now the sisters are together. Together at last. Rinka and Ronka are top of the food chain. Or they want to be top of the food chain. Because, again, the sisters' goal is really to, outside of, like more than any of the other characters in the game, they kind of just want to get back to life as normal. Like, Momo kind of likes it on the island, because, you know, like, she was a child soldier, and she didn't like that life, and, like, yeah, she has to fight here, but, like, at least it's, like, there's hospitals, and, like, you know, food and meals, and she's good at it. So, like, she likes it here. Mana's crazy, and she likes it here, because she's an insane person. Viola's just like, this is a good life. Like, I live in a nice apartment. I'm in love with one of the strongest Valkyries on this island. Like, I'm good. I could live here. And Koharu has kind of like been a little bit strange. Koharu's kind of like doing her own thing. Like both on and off screen. She's kind of like a secretive person who seems to be doing things outside of the realm of just these battles. Like, she does everything that's required of her, but like off screen she doesn't do anything else. She's like always off doing her own business. So she, to the outside observer, it seems that she's fine with this life too. And Manpaku Maru just wants to eat. She just wants to eat food. That's her whole deal. As long as there's delicious food, that's what she wants. We learn later that Manpaku Maru's backstory is like way sadder. But we'll get to that. So, now that the sisters are back in action, they need to catch up to Koharu and Viola. So, what do? They start challenging Pillar Gods. But they're behind by 2. Because the sisters have not fought the Green Dragon, so they need to do that, and they also need to go fight the Tiger. So, that's what they're doing here. They're fighting their way to the Green Dragon. Let me check my notes here. Oh, I missed. Cool. And in this fight, we discover something. Something that nobody knew before. But maybe Koharu did? It's very weird. We're getting some really bad hits here. Yeah, this is unfortunate. Oh, I can't believe I didn't dodge that. That's... There we go. You really want to dodge those, because it really sets you up really well. There we go. Cool. Alright, this boss is now, hopefully defeated. Killer, they do, dude. They do have the absolute worst hitboxes in this game. And, like, sometimes the camera freaks out and just sends you, like, flying off into the corner. I dislike it greatly. I should have just ulted there. I should not have let this god get away from me. We have to be really careful here, because we need double S rank on this level. And that move specifically, it hits us every frame, so we have to be really careful when she does it. Because like, I think if we take 1 or 2 more hits, it's really bad news. Because basically we'll have to do this stage over again. I should not let this boss get away from me. When I down her, I should just ult a whole bunch. That's what I should do here. This fight's so bad, because we're so under-leveled. I don't think we get double S on this. I'm getting hit too much. There we go. Yeah, dude, these bosses, they love to troll me. I get trolled by this boss in particular more than any other. Yeah, so we don't get double S because we took too much damage there. So we will have to do that level over again, eventually. I'm just gonna keep going, for the sake of, the you know, the run, but, like, technically, I would, right now, in the marathon, I would jump to a save file that has that, mission completed, but is still, like, basically right here. Yeah, just for marathon safety, in case that happens, and we do the order ending. Yeah, so, also, welcome in, IQ, Valkyrie, for 830, apt name, given the game we're playing. Yeah, I thought it would be fine too, but, like, nah, we did take too much damage there. So wait, what drive is this? This is 13, right? Okay, cool. So, basically, we won that. I mean, we got double S, so, yeah, we're doing good. I'm gonna change this name, hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, just for me, man. It's cool. You do you. Okay. Oh, it's old? Okay. I mean, whatever. So yeah, so what's happening now is a character who we haven't seen in cutscenes because we've been skipping them all, but who's been kind of in the background of this whole game. Her name's Ichigoya. She's the shop owner for the VR class. Basically, she's the one that sells food, and she kind of runs the cafe. She also sells, like, you know, lingerie and everything a girl needs. Ichigoya sells. And, like, she kind of also runs a black market as well. Like, she runs the real store, but she also runs, like, a black market out the back. So, Ichigoya shows up and tells the girls, like, hey, there's more going on the island than you know. Like, there might be something sinister going on. But I can't talk about it. But, like, I want you to keep a lookout on what's happening around town. And the girls are like, okay, well, that's cryptic and sinister, but we'll do our best. This is an auto-scroller, and I hit a bad cycle. You can technically get this instantly, if you hit a really good cycle, but we didn't. So yeah, Ichigoya is trying to help us. Gosh darn it. This is the slow way to do this fight. But like, fuck. Did you see she dodged right? Like the frame that I did that, she dodged sideways. Are you fucking for real right now? You fucking Minpaku Maru, man. There. Did we get her? We got her. Fine. And of course she lives. She's my favorite character, but God, her... I hate that there's literally, like, a frame between the fact that you ult and time freezes, and yeah, she jumps out of the infinites. Yeah, it's... Ah, Minpaku Maru, man. Favorite character, but worst AI. Okay, wait, where were we? Where am I in my notes? Cool. So, Wait, Oh, right. I forgot to explain the whole girl and orbs thing. So when we fought when we fought the Green Dragon as the sisters, and we broke the orbs, girls fell out of them. And you know, obviously, everyone on the island's like, what the fuck is happening? Why are there girls coming out of these orbs, and why weren't they coming out of the orbs earlier when we were breaking them? Because, like, you know, we fought a couple pillar gods. And the sisters are like, what the fuck's going on here? And that's when Itch pops up and says, like, hey, like, there's some stuff going on this island. And you gotta, you know, gotta get wise. Or something bad might happen to you. She's real cryptic about it. And the sisters are like, okay, cool, we're gonna go investigate this. So that's what the sisters are doing right now. But Momo, not wanting to let Rinka and Ronka go it alone, teams up with Minpaku Maru to infiltrate the castle. Now, remember that secret conversation that I mentioned earlier that Mana had with the director? Mana has been tasked by the director to kind of stop anyone from entering the castle. We're not really told why, but that's what she's doing. So, she's fighting her way across castle grounds because she heard that people were infiltrating. She doesn't know who's infiltrating, and she doesn't know why. The director's just like, hey, there's people trying to infiltrate the castle, fight them off. And so, you know, Mana's like, sure, whatever. I'm a good lapdog. I'll do whatever you want. So, she runs across Momo and Minpaku Maru, and she's like, Momo and Minpaku Maru, why are you trying to break in here? And she takes care of them, because, that's what she does. Again, she's very good. She may be a bit of a brat, but when she has the skill, she backs up. Also, she had Kotaru with her, which, again, how much of that was really Mana and how much of it was really Kotaru, you don't really know. But yeah, Mana is the worst here, and in this cutscene, she basically needles Momo for losing to her yet again. Mana just is her fucking personality matrix is it's all negatives. It's all negatives. But, wait, let me pull up my notes. Oh, I'm fighting stuff here. Oh, boop. Alright. Oh, I don't have a UI. I did, darn it, I did the thing. Alright, so sometimes this game can bug out, and it can give you, it doesn't load the UI for the game. And it makes it really hard to know when you have things like drive or, what enemies' health bars is. But you know, it's something we have to deal with. Luckily, there are sound cues for things like getting drive meter and stuff like that. And I have these levels kind of memorized, so like I kind of know where I need to go. But if you get this bug and you have no idea what's happening, like I did the first couple times I played this game, I thought that it just got harder. Like I'm just like, oh, this is, you know, the game takes the UI away from you to make the game more challenging. Nope, it's totally a bug, and it just happens sometimes. No real reason that I've ever found. It's mostly when loading into levels. As soon as we unload this level, it'll fix itself. Oh, yo! King of Things! Yeah! Okay, I low-key thought it was you because I'm like, who else would be interested in Valkyrie Drive speedruns? For real, though. Like, but obviously I didn't want to say anything in case it wasn't you, but like, welcome in, homie. I'm doing a commentary run right now because I'm gonna submit this game for a marathon. So I figured, you know, I could. Shit, I didn't want third drive. I just wanted second drive. Oh well. Okay. So again, we want an infinite Momo here. That's gonna be risky. Fuck. Cool. That was really good. We did all that without a UI, which makes it a little more stressful. Who else would have so much knowledge of a niche game? Yeah, no, exactly, right? Like, about this weird game. Alright, 14B. What do I have notes here? Yeah, so it turns out going to the top of the tower was a trap all along. Whether Ichigoya, the shopkeeper, set us up or you know, they're like that's not where we were supposed to go in the first place. We don't know. Because Ichigoya disappears very again. She talks to us mostly through like telecommunication, so like we don't really know what's up with Ichigoya. But yeah, so Mana ambushes the sister. So then we're basically like, I guess we'll go to the training grounds and talk to Kongo because like, you know, Kongo's a pillar god. She was our first teacher. She should certainly know what's happening here. Like if anyone's gonna know, it's her, or so we think. So we go to the training grounds on Mana's advice. Again, the sisters don't know that Mana and Koharu ambushed Manpaku Maru and Momo. So the sisters trust Mana, and they're like, okay, cool, we'll go talk to Kongo in the training grounds. Oh, I thought I timed that right. Oh well. Ideally, we'd like to have drive 1 here, but like whatever. Or ideally, we'd like to have a charge of drive here. Oh, I did the slow thing. Okay, it's fine. Whatever. I'm pretty sure her Q is gonna hit me here, which is unfortunate. Oh, great, it didn't. Her Q, her triangle, whatever. Anyway, so it was all a trap, and Mana ambushes us because she's quietly working for the director, but we don't know that yet. But yeah, she gets absolutely fucking dunked on by the sisters because the sisters are fucking, they're really good at fighting. Cool. So the sisters, and then right as the girls are starting to figure out, like, no, she doesn't do a very good job of ambushing them. So right as the sisters are like trying to figure out what's going on, Kongo is like, hey, like, there's a new round of scheduled matches coming up. And the girls are like, This is the third time these scheduled matches have happened, and it always seems to come, like, at a time when something is going on with the island, and our teachers are trying to distract us. And it's getting fishy. But, this time, at least the sisters are teamed up together, I believe. Right? Yeah. So, the sisters are teamed up together, and they're supposed to fight, I think it's Viola and Koharu. So, Rinka and Ronka are both like, fine, whatever. Or specifically Ronka's like, it's fine, as long as I'm paired up with Rinka, I don't care who I fight. Like, scheduled battles or not, we're gonna get to the bottom of this eventually, and like, I'm not... Oh, target the other mage girl. Yeah! That's great. Oh man, what a fast fight. My targeting in this fight, like, the AI for the targeting went absolutely ham there. That was a really good fight. Usually that fight goes very wrong for me. With, like, mage girls knocking me around and the support girls in the air doing all kinds of bad shit. So yeah, this is a scheduled match. That was a really good fight. Very fast. So yeah, we time skip to so now all the matches are happening. And once the sisters beat Viola, they kind of, like, Viola understands, like, she starts understanding why the sisters are so strong and, like, starts to get what they're fighting for. But she doesn't necessarily agree with it. She understands it and she walks off. It's at this point that Mana asks Momo if she threw the match, or if Viola threw the match right there. And Viola's like, I didn't throw anything. Get off my case. The sisters are really strong. And she kind of leaves it at that. So again, more scheduled matches here. So we're now playing as Koharu, and she's with Viola. And they're going against Mana and Menpakumaru, I believe. Yeah, very, very much yeah. So again, this is more scheduled matches. Koharu is mostly just kind of going through the motions here. But again, secretly, kind of, again, off screen from what we're seeing, Koharu and Viola now that Koharu and Viola are a couple, Viola has also gotten kind of cryptic about all this stuff that they're doing in the background. Like, it's almost like Koharu knows more than she's talking about, you know, not to give the goose away. But Koharu seems to, you know, use very cryptic language, and, like, she always seems to understand more than she lets on. And now that she has Viola kind of in her corner, she can do more actively than before. Because, you know, before she was just her. She was just Koharu, and she couldn't do much. But now that she has Viola behind her, she can sport a lot more. But again, these are scheduled battles, so people aren't paired up with maybe who they want to be paired up with, and they're forced to fight. So this fight isn't over any great moral. Oh, I forgot to do the thing. Okay, it's okay. We'll just do this fight the somewhat slow way. Oh fuck, that's not gonna get her. Fuck. Oh, that sucks. I didn't realize she jumped until it was too late. There we go. It's fine. That fight could have been like 10 seconds faster. Fine, it's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, cool. And obviously Koharu and Rinka together are literally the strongest pair. Or, you know, so it's assumed. And yeah, they beat the pants off of Mana again, and again, it sends Mana into a depression spiral. Koharu then admits to Mana openly in front of the sisters. She's like, I always kind of knew that Rinka would surpass me as the strongest Valkyrie on the island. And fucking Mana does not take that well. Because Mana, you know, she sees how strong the sisters' bond is, and she's like, well, I can never get between them. Like, I have no chance of becoming the strongest Valkyrie if I don't drive with the strongest Valkyrie. And if you say the strongest Valkyrie is Rinka, and Rinka is only ever going to drive with her sister, and I'm too weak to actually battle my way through Ronka, who would be the one to kind of decide who her sister drives with, like, there's no way. So Mana is in full-on copium mode, I believe as the kids say. So yeah, Mana's in full-on copium mode, and you know, the girls, Rinka and Ronka are like, you know what? Let's go fight the Tiger Boss, because they're like, we're strong enough to do that, and now that the scheduled matches are over, like, we can make that happen. I hate that thing more than life itself. You guys don't know how easy that going through that barricade looks, but how hard it actually is. That barricade has ended more of my runs than some of the bosses have. It's wild. Is that true? I guess that is true, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Man, King of Things, can I just say how nice it is to have someone in here who understands my pain when it comes to, like, the intricacies of running this game. Like, nobody, I feel like, you know, people who come in here and watch my normal speed runs, you know, that they watch because I'm here, but, like, having someone in here who has done runs and understands stuff, oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. Cool. So again, the sisters. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, good. Yeah, this move. Great. Only the end of our combo hits the orb that we want to. Unless we're in the air, but again, the hitboxes in this game are pretty wild. And if the boss keeps running from me... I wonder, does this hit it? No, it doesn't. I thought maybe that had enough height to hit it when she's standing, but it doesn't. It can only hit it when it's on the ground. Oh my god, one more hit. Just hit the orb. That was, oh my god, did you see that? That's so painful, dude. I just needed one more hit, and I hit everything but the orb that I wanted to. This is so sad. Yikes. Okay. Did that really only hit her head? My god, dude. This fight, out of all the fights in this game, I think this one might be the worst. Cause yeah, her hitbox on her head is just so big, and if you try and go for her back orbs instead of the front ones, she just jumps and kicks the whole time. Yeah, the worst. Anyway, back to the story. we just defeated the boss, and the director shows up, and the director's like, hey, like you can't do this. You need to stop. Like you have to stop. Like you're causing more damage than you think you are. Like if you keep going along this path, it'll only end in sadness. Please, I'm begging you, stop looking into this. Stop doing what you're doing. But as the boss, you know, as the tiger boss does, she's like, cool, I'll let you, like, you beat me, so I'll answer one question honestly. Like, what do you want to know? And Rinka, again, once again in this game, proving that she's basically the antithesis of Mana, and Rinka is really too nice for this whole game. Rinka asks for her, the boss, to make up with Koharu, because they had kind of a falling out off screen that we didn't see. So she asked for that boss to you know, re-befriend Koharu instead of you know, asking any more secrets about the island, because, you know, she's the best. Oh, right, I shouldn't have gone into drive, because this fight's a fucking nightmare. Anyway, let me keep reading off my notes as I just do this fight here real quick. I really want to target the mage girls. Over, please. Mage girl. Nope, there she was. Thank you. Where's the other mage girl? There they are. I think there's a support girl left. Yeah. Oh, wow, there's a support girl and a mage girl left. That's unusual. Rinka is... I think Rinka is just too, like, she's too nice for all of this, you know? Like, Rinka, out of all the characters here, like, she seems to be the most, like, pure-hearted, and, like, she's just like, I just want a cure. Like, I don't want to be here. I want to be in school with all my friends, like a normal, like, person. And, you know, she also wants to be with her sister, obviously. But, like, you know, that's fine. Really good fight there. Cool. So, each basically tells the sisters to gather the entire VR class, and starts telling them the truth. Viola and Koharu are strangely MIA for this. Manpaku is asleep for most of, you know, the thing. But we learn that the Pillar Gods are basically graduated alumni of the VR class. And when we break their orbs, we're basically knocking out other Valkyries from them. Because basically, the Pillar Gods are kept, those giant machines that they're in, basically keep them in a perpetual state of drive. Because with the VR virus, specifically, not just the V virus, but the VR virus specifically, when you initiate drive, when a VR person initiates drive with either a V virus or another VR person, the person who they drive with kind of goes into like a timeless stasis. So as long as they're driving, the X-Star, their X-Star basically doesn't age. So they basically get frozen in time. So the Pillar Gods are basically like immortal robots who are keeping Valkyries in drive forever. We don't know if it's against their will or not. But like basically that's what the Pillar Gods are doing. They exist to keep girls in drive forever. And we don't know why. Itch doesn't really explain it. She's just like, cool. But when we fight the Pillar Gods and we break the drive, it weakens them. Obviously, and that's good because we want to learn what's happening here. Ichigoya says something really cryptic, like there's even more stuff happening on the island, but like she doesn't have time to explain it. That was close. Good fight. Good fight. Yeah, so I've noticed that on really high frame rates, Viola specifically, like, does that at the beginning of every match. I don't know if it's a frame rate thing, or if it's just, like, she does it on my computer thing. But yeah, Viola does this weird, like, stutter step every time you fight her. I don't understand what it is. If you go back and you look at my fight with her previously, it happened there too. It's very strange. It's very weird. But again, I've had no one to talk to about this stuff to see if they can reproduce it. But like, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that there are other people here. So on this level, basically, the sisters have decided that they're taking this to the top. They're going to be the first couple to fight the fourth pillar god. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to fight the fourth pillar god. Now this fight is really jank, mostly because we don't have any drive. And at the beginning of it, the game really wants us to do this thing called connect. But connect's really dumb. It doesn't do anything except make you immune to damage, but it doesn't make you immune to knockback. So like it's virtually useless. So we're gonna turn it off basically the second we're able to. And we really want to target this boss's core. But because we have no drive and we have really low damage against this boss because we're under leveled for where we're at, we really just want this boss to stand still. This boss can like run all over this arena with like this fire move, and it's really bad. Basically every move this boss does moves it around, except like a few of them. Like that move, we don't want it to do that move. We especially don't want it to do a move where like it starts like... Yeah, this move. We really don't want it to do this move. Because this move, obviously it drops random fireballs, and random is really not good, because you can't dodge them, you can't, like... You know, you can't account for them, it's just... It is what it is. I'm mostly hitting the orb on the right here, but that's fine. So again, the problem is that we want to do our combos here, but this fire can interrupt us. So yeah, we could have destroyed that core orb if we weren't getting knocked around by the dumb fire. Yeah, so like this is why I hate it when she does the fire move. And the fire move, obviously, as you can all tell, it lasts for about 900 years. I'm just gonna do this, and hopefully it finishes her off. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I think it lasts 2 minutes. Yeah, I think the fire thing lasts exactly 2 minutes. At least for me, it seems to. Yeah, it's like the whole fight. It's terrible. Okay, so this is where we have to now go back. I'm just gonna go to a different save. Unfortunately, like, because we didn't get triple S on that one stage, just pretend like obviously the timer doesn't matter anymore. We were really far ahead there. That was like really good. But yeah. Oh wait, let's go. Yeah, it was a really good pace, but unfortunately that one boss trolled us, so it's not It's not the run. Yeah, so basically we defeated the. So wait, let me catch up here on what's happening. So we climbed the tower, we defeated the Gundari, that basically the final. Wait, I need to scroll down in my notes here. Sorry, a lot happens at the end of this game, and it's pretty wild. I'm just gonna skip all of these. Yeah, it was a pretty wild pace, especially for a commentary run. I was, like, not really concentrating, and, like, I wasn't doing any experience routing or anything. I was just playing the game, and, like, I was also checking my notes. There's a lot of time to save in this game. Tens of minutes. So, you know, if anyone's interested in learning this speed run, I'm currently writing a better guide for it. But yeah, there's... If you want to come join King and I, we're only... Yeah. And, like, there's a lot of, like, animation canceling that I'm pretty sure you can do, in like, some stages. Because, like, I've accidentally done a whole bunch of random shit in this game. I'm pretty sure there's parts in this game where you could no-clip. Like, you could clip out of bounds and then just, like, hit the next marker. But like, I'm just, that's not what I excel at as a speedrunner. I'm not a glitch hunter. And also, like, the experience route that I use is, like, not good. It needs to be, like, really refined. But yeah, so basically the sisters have started to learn what everything is. Wait, let me actually read my notes. So let's see. There we go. So the VR class, basically after the sisters defeat the fourth pillar god, they gather the entire VR class to discuss their next move. Rinka obviously. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. That's the wrong move. Oh well. Long animation time. Again, time doesn't matter here because it doesn't. None of this matters. But yeah, so now I can just read my notes. Rinka won't submit to being frozen in drive like all of the other classes, and Manpakumaru agrees, mostly because Manpakumaru wants to continue eating food. That's the only reason she doesn't want to be stuck in perpetual frozen drive. So Rinka's plan is to liberate the whole island. Oh wait, that's not... did I skip a level? I skipped a level. I gotta go back. I'm so used to just hitting A, because it defaults to going to the next level. There we go. Yeah, so the game kind of, like, you know, that... Viola points out that you know, anyone who attempts to leave the island will just be sold, like, they'll be caught and sold off as a weapon. So there's really no, like, running from this, like... But at the same time, Viola also doesn't want to be stuck in perpetual drive. So Ronka is like, okay, I'll go along with you, sister, but, like, prove to me you're strong. So that's why we fought Ronka there. And now we're working on liberating the island. The fifth graduating VR class is now a guerrilla war unit, and we're fighting against basically all of the island. The Pillar Gods have kind of initiated a lockdown, and they've turned on all of the hardest battle bots to kind of, like, get control of the situation, because they're thinking if they can knock out even one or two of the Valkyries, that there won't be enough of them left to fight them, and they will slowly be able to take the island back and put people inside Pillar Gods. But there's also not enough Pillar Gods to hold all of these Valkyries, especially ones as powerful as Rinka, Ronka, and Koharu, and Viola. Basically everyone but Mana. The director's worried about, because they're just so strong. So yeah, so everyone is now attempting to liberate the island. Now, in order to do that, they need to get control of, ports, as rebels do. The first thing you gotta do is control the flow of commerce. So they head to the port to try and get a hold of the shipping, like all the ships going in and out of the island. They want to control them so that no one can leave the island or join or come to the island. Because the last thing they want is more people being subjected to this weird shit that's happening on this island. Not everyone agrees to this plan. So, like, Mana is like, nah, I'm not about this. I'm gonna protect the Pillar Gods. I'm gonna protect, what we've established here. And Koharu, like, kind of agrees with her. She's like, listen, it might not be the best, but, like, if it's the only route that we have to us, then, like, we have to. And so Koharu and Mana have kind of their final showdown. I did not mean to. I forgot how strong I was. She's going to go into connect here, isn't she? There we go. Perfect. I forgot I'm playing on a max level save. So, like, I forget that I can just one-shot all of these enemies with special attacks. Obviously, I won't reset to a high-level save. I will make a save that is of the appropriate level when I actually, if my run gets, submitted. Or accepted, rather. So right there, basically, Momo talks to Mana, and she's like, hey, listen, I understand where you're coming from. I know that you're crazy, but, like, can you please just join us? Join us, please. And Mana, wait, I have a better version of this. Yeah. This is 18, right? Or is this 19? This is 19, right? I think I'm one split behind. Yeah. So, yeah. The green dragon here. Again, I don't know how you pronounce her name. Praises Mana for halting the advance of the other girls, and then in a single attack, disables Rinka and Ronka. And Minpaku Maru. So basically, thanks to Mana, the rebellion is more or less brought to an end. But Mana's heart melts when, and then the dragon prepares to take all three girls into her, but she's stopped by Momo. Momo says that Mana will eventually save her friends. And Mana's like, okay, and basically, Mana and Momo have a heart-to-heart. They make up. Momo kind of explains that she's had feelings for Mana this whole time, and, she's really sorry that when they first met, the circumstances under which they first met weren't great. And yeah, they basically become the best friends. I have that written better. I need to update these notes to be a little more streamlined. So Mana's heart melts, and she teams up with Momo to fight against the Pillar Gods that are kind of holding down the port. Oh, good luck. I love it when this boss doesn't go into invincibility. Yeah, no, again, Mana in the Chaos route is so absolutely fucking extra, and, she never stopped being extra. She just, again, my alternate name for this game is Mana did everything wrong. And it's true, man. She doesn't... Mana just can't... Like, I understand her psychosis, but at the same time, like... Come on, for real? Yeah. So, yeah, the Mana and Mono finally team up, and they come to an understanding, and Momo confesses her love for Mana, and you know, they become best friends. They become roommates. Oh wait, none of this matters. So yeah, soulmates even. In the run, I think I'm just gonna call them roommates because I think it's funny. Because that's like a meme in the lesbian community. Oh, they were roommates. Even though everyone on Earth knows what that actually means. Anyway. My God, they were roommates. Yeah, exactly. Because yeah, I don't know how 18 plus the thing is that I'm gonna submit this game to. So like, I'm just gonna talk to I'm just gonna talk like, oh yeah, they're drive partners now. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like, if you get it, you get it. I mean, this game, there's nothing subtle about this game, but like, I'm gonna try and be as subtle as possible. Cause you know, if it's like an all-age thing. But if it's an all-age thing, maybe they shouldn't accept this game in the first place. I don't know. I was hoping we got both of them there. Oh yeah, that's true. Listen, that just like I always say, it when people bring that up, I say don't think too hard about it. Just don't think too hard about it. That Rinka and Ronka's relationship just don't think too hard. So again, with this stuff, what you have to do with Koharu, because her attack, her final attack animation, if you let it go all the way through, takes about 900 years to finish. You have to constantly like roll out of it. Like you have to constantly roll so that she doesn't do her final animation. And her DPS just skyrockets. Right, yeah, and again, this is a... I know, Koharu's finisher is just so bad, but it's fine. Just don't ever, like, try your best not to do it. Like, I just do, like, 3 hits, and then I dodge. 3 and then dodge. 1, 2, 3, dodge. Like... that you could probably get away with like 4 or 5. Ah, damn it! I did it. But like, I don't know. I feel safe with 3. Fun fact, you can do that exact move without a max level account or a max level save, and it still one-shots Manpaku Maru. Yeah, no, yeah, it is. And her triangle attack isn't bad too. The square triangle attack where like she does that like big shield thing and then she rushes forward with it. That's pretty good too. But oh wait, yeah, back to the story. So again, they don't ever give themselves a name, but I'm just gonna call them the Rebellion. The rebellion is in full swing here. Everyone, all girls from the VR class are now mostly on board. The only one who's been strangely absent are Koharu and Viola. Specifically Koharu. Like, Viola showed up, and she's like, again, way back, like a couple levels ago, Viola, like, seemed to understand what the girls were trying to do, and she, like, kind of just walked off without saying much. But we haven't heard from Koharu ever since we kind of formed the rebellion. And we're not sure what's happening with Koharu, but Koharu's kind of always been a mystery. So, like, it's just assumed that, you know, she's off doing weird stuff. And most of the girls just kind of leave it at that. They're like, we'll meet up with Koharu eventually. You know, like, we're sure she'll join the rebellion, because, like, there's no real reason that she wouldn't, given what's at stake. Rinka is the absolute worst character to fight this boss with, because all of her moves are have no height. Like, none of her combo has any height to it. So, like, hitting these orbs, you basically have to do jump attacks. And jump attacks, their damage is limited. No matter how high level you are or how much damage you actually have, your air attacks all depend on your drive level. Or I think, again, I've never had anyone confirm this for me, but ground attacks seem to do an almost triple or quadruple what your air attacks do. So you always want to be doing ground attacks on enemies if possible. But yeah, so now the girls are fighting their way. They're trying to find the director, basically, because, like, the director runs the island. Everyone thinks if they can find her, they can basically take control of the island. You know, like cutting the head off the snake. If you take out the director, or at least, you know, talk her into giving you the island, then it'll be a more peaceful transfer of power. So that's what the girls are looking to do. But the director has been strangely absent the whole game. She's shown up in, like, cutscenes, but she always shows up as a hologram. And we're not really sure, like, if she's even a human person. Oh my goodness, I forgot that, yeah, that can happen. It is. So yeah, it's right at the end that you learn what's really going on with the island. I don't know if I'm going to spoil it in the run. Oops. Because, like, I don't know if I want, you know, if I want to force people to play. What do you think, King? Like, during the run, should I explain what happens in the good ending? And, like, why, you know, like, about the whole, like, Koharu being, like, the fifth pillar god, like, being the only other speedrunner of this game. What do you think I should do? Again, if this gets submitted to the marathon, which I have my doubts that it will be accepted, but, like, if it does, do I go full spoilers? Go into drive, please? You may as well go all the way. Okay. Yeah, so what happens is we find out, all the girls find out that basically two of the pillar gods have this giant shield. They're basically shielded, and they are invulnerable to damage, and they keep getting repaired. Like, we keep defeating them, and they keep coming back almost instantaneously. Like, full drive, full everything. And the girls can't figure it out. And obviously they can't get anywhere if they keep having to fight pillar gods and pillar gods and pillar gods over and over and over again. So it's you know, they have to figure out what's wrong. And that's when Ichigoya, the shopkeeper, kind of comes in like Batman at the 4th hour with kryptonite, and they're like, hey, I know what's going on, I can help you, but you have to get to this power generator that's way up on way up in this corner of the island. Right, let me read from my notes here real quick. Yeah, so Koharu basically says, "Hey, I will become the 5th pillar god." Right. So yeah, Koharu basically talks to the director, and she's like, "Hey, I'll become the 4th pillar god if it means maintaining the safety of the island." In that cutscene, Viola talks her out of it. Viola's like, "Hey, I think Rinka and Ronka are the strongest people on the planet, or on the island, and I think they're even stronger than every pillar god." And so Koharu's like, fine, if they can defeat every pillar god in order, back to back, I will not become the 5th pillar god, and I will help them take out the shield generator, or take out the generator that basically keeps remaking, or keeps repairing the pillar gods over and over and over again. So, once you know, once Rinka and Ronka hear that, they're like, cool, we're gonna do it. We are the best, we're strongest, and our convictions are solid. So that's what they do. So that's what we're doing right now. We're stopping Koharu from becoming the 5th pillar god by defeating all the other pillar gods, proving to Koharu that we are, in fact, our convictions are strong enough to keep the island, theoretically unfreeze all of these Valkyries, and basically create an island free of tyranny. Now, there is a problem with this scenario. It's that basically in this world, the world governments don't like rogue Valkyries running around, which is kind of why they have these islands set up in the first place. Their whole, like, the world government's whole plan is to basically send people with the V virus, or the VR virus, to these islands, train them up, make them into super weapons, then sell them to other government, and then sell them to basically become weapons of mass destruction that countries use to fight against each other. That part of both the anime and the manga and this game is kind of vague. Like, who are these world governments? Why do they think this is a good idea? Why don't they just look for a real cure? None of that's really made clear, but again, none of it's really important either. Because, you know, what's really important is friendship. And we have the best friendship here. I can't believe that didn't... Oh my god, did that only hit her head? That whole ultimate only hit her head? Yikes. But yeah, again, in the air, your damage is limited, so you really only want to, Oh, I mean, it, again, King, it has to be reviewed, so, like, you know, don't call it a done deal yet. But yeah, I tried really hard. I grinded for... You you gave me a run for my money, homie. When I saw that you beat my record by 2 minutes, I'm like, oh my god, that's so much time. But dude, again, between you and me, like, I mean, not between you and me, like, there's a ton of time to save in this game. Like my sum of best right now is 2 hours 15 minutes, and that's bad. Like, I think I low key believe that, like, this game can be done in like 2 hours. Like 2 hours and maybe 5 minutes. With like a really good run, if all the bosses like behave, and like you don't get a lot of knockback, and if you get, like, if we refine, if you want to, again, this is mostly a question for you and how much time you want to put into this, but like, if you want to, I would love to work on like a proper EXP route, because like I have one that I think is really good, but like I think it could use some like refinement. But like I don't know. I just have to go through the game more thoroughly and like see where you use drive, see where you need to use drive, see where drive would be helpful, and like just because, okay, the first time you fight this dragon boss as the sisters, if you have drive 2, it makes that fight so fast. The only problem is getting drive 2 means doing a level twice, because there's just not enough experience going through the normal game to get it on its own, like to get Ronka to drive 2 on her own. So you have to do a level twice. And like there's a level that you can do in like 30 seconds, but like I don't know if that's faster or not, because I just haven't had anyone to test it. And I guess low-key I haven't had any need to test it because I've had the record for so long. But now that you're here, and if you're gonna keep challenging my record, which I hope you do. I hope you do. Then, like, you know, it'll force both of us to kind of refine this game more, and I think it'll make both of us, you know, a lot stronger as speedrunners. Maybe that's just me, but like I love this kind of stuff. So like, yeah. So anyway, back to the thing. Basically, again, Rinka and Ronka are proving their will for Koharu by defeating all the pillar bosses. Awesome. Where's the best place I can DM you? Do you have like a Discord or anything that I can like pop into? Or Loki, do you want to pop into my Discord? Hashtag shameless self plug. Cool. So, basically, Ichigoya here pops up, and she says, like, hey, the director and I were the first Valkyries sent to this island. We're in the first class of Valkyries sent to this island. But the world government came in and killed everyone, because they didn't like how we were outperforming them. So the director and I escaped, and we've set up this program, you know, what they call the VR program. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. So now when girls are sent here, they are replaced with robots. I mean, they go through the program as normal, but they're reported as dead, to the world governments, and they're replaced with robots, so that the island doesn't look deserted from the outside. And then they are put into pillar gods, basically storing them forever until a real cure can be found. That's basically what this whole thing has been about. It's basically the director and Ichigoya working together to kind of save as many lives as they can and stop as many girls being sold as weapons as they can. But the only way they could have possibly done that is to mark them as dead and put them in pillar gods. So when the girls learn the final truth of the thing, Koharu meets them at the top here, and she's like, "You have to defeat me. If you don't defeat me, I'm becoming the fifth pillar god, and we're doing it normally." we're going through with the plan. Yeah, so the end of the game, Rinka and Ronka destroy the device that keeps, one, the shield up on the island to keep people out and ships out. They also destroy the machine that keeps repairing the Pillar Gods. Yeah, so Koharu kind of goes Super Saiyan there at the end, trying to get all 4 Pillar Gods to feed into her so that she and Viola can fight the sisters, but it's not good enough. The sisters win. Koharu accepts defeat, and all the cherry blossoms on the island suddenly bloom for the first time since Ichigoya and the director could remember. The director says that the world governments are likely already sending troops, and they are aware that the island has been liberated, and they're probably sending countermeasures. But spoiler alerts, guys, Koharu has been working this whole time on contacting other islands, because I believe there are 7 islands in total. 7 of these artificial islands that are made to house Valkyries. She contacts Mermaid, which is the island from the anime. She contacts Siren, which is the island from one of the manga series. And she basically spreads their message of rebellion. She basically says, hey, if it's a fight the world government wants, they'll get it. Like, they are more than welcome to come to our islands and fight us. But we are essentially sovereign states.